Hello and welcome to a video of the top 10 most affordable and cheapest cities to live in Canada for students and also for newcomers. Canada is an amazing country, and if you talk about the standard of living is really high. They have a very great welcoming atmosphere, but the cost of living can actually vary from city to city. So in this video, we're going to be looking closely into the cost of living, universities in each city, the economy, the employment opportunities, and the fun places in each of these following cities that are most affordable for students and also for newcomers in Canada. So number one on the list is going to be Montreal. So Montreal is in the province Quebec. Montreal is an amazing city because it's a very vibrant and multicultural city. They have a lot of delicious food. They have beautiful architecture. I've been there. It's amazing. They have a very lovely art scene. The cost of living in Montreal is really relatively low compared to some other major cities in Canada, and kind of like an average monthly budget in a place like Montreal is usually around 1,800 to 2,000. That's actually a bit sufficient for a lot of students. The city is home to several universities. For example, there is the McGill University, there is Concordia University. And when you talk about the economy is really diverse, right? So there's a lot of focus on technology, healthcare, manufacturing. And Montreal, in terms of tourism, it is amazing. It's a very popular destination for a lot of tourists, and it offers a wide range of employment opportunities. And there are lots of fun places to visit in Montreal. For example, there is a very famous, Montreal Botanical Garden. There is a Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, and then there's also the iconic Notre Dame Basilica. So definitely check out Montreal. Now, the second city I want to talk about is Ottawa. So Ottawa is located in the province Ontario. Ottawa is actually the capital city of Canada, and it is known for their very stunning architecture. They have beautiful parks, and if you want to learn about Canada's history, then you have to go to Ottawa. The cost of living in Ottawa is quite affordable, compared to other cities, usually around 1,700 to 1,900. That's actually sufficient for a lot of students, and there are a lot of great universities that are located in Ottawa. The number one of them is University of Ottawa and University of Carleton. I've actually been to those two universities when I went to Ottawa. It is just amazing. Now let's talk about the economy of Ottawa. The economy of Ottawa is largely based on the government because that's the government headquarters, and there is a lot of technology sector in there. And there's a lot of focus on research as well as development. In terms of tourism, because it has very iconic history in Canada, is a popular destination for a lot of tourists, and also this actually provides a lot of good employment opportunities. There are lots of fun places that you can actually go to in Ottawa. For example, there's a Radio Canada, there is a National Gallery of Canada, there is also the Canadian Museum of History. That is really amazing. So I definitely think about Ottawa as a new student, or as a newcomer in Canada. Now the third city I want to talk about is Quebec City. So Quebec City, just like Montreal, is located in the province Quebec. It is a very charming city. They have a very It's also another historic city, and there is the Picture Square, cobblestone streets, and they also have very beautiful architecture. Now the cost of living in Quebec City is quite affordable, with a monthly budget of around 1,600 to about 1,900. This is pretty good for a lot of students. There are lots of universities in Quebec. For example, there is a Laval University, there is the Université de Quebec. I hope I pronounced it correctly. The economy of Quebec is mostly based on tourism. There's a lot of manufacturing. They also have a lot of service sector, and there are lots of popular tourist attraction. Let's talk about some of the fun places in Quebec City. For example, you have the Chateau, Frontenac, you have the Basilique, Cathedral, you have the Notre Dame Cathedral, Notre Dame de Quebec, and also the Musée de la Civilisation. I hope I pronounced that correct. Sorry, I'm not a native French speaker, so please just bear with me for that. The fourth city is Winnipeg in Manitoba. So Winnipeg is actually the capital city of Manitoba, and it is the largest city in Manitoba. So it's actually known for their friendly people. They have a very rich, cultural heritage. The cost of living in kind of an average, is around 1,400 to about 2,000, depends on how much you want to spend. And there are several universities in Manitoba. For example, there is a University of Manitoba, and there's also the University of Winnipeg. So the economy of Winnipeg or Manitoba is really based a lot, in agriculture. They have a lot in manufacturing, and they also have great service sector, and it's a very great place for tourists. And there are a lot of fun places if you are in Winnipeg that you can visit. For example, there is a Assiniboine Park Zoo. There is also the Fox National Historic Site, and then there's also the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. So definitely check this out whenever you go to Winnipeg. Number 5 on the list, let's talk about Halifax. Now we're moving all the way now to the Atlantic province. So Halifax is actually the capital city of Nova Scotia. So Nova Scotia, they have a very beautiful coastal scenery, a rich history, and also friendly people, because it's kind of close to the ocean, so you can have a very great view of the Atlantic Ocean, quite amazing. And just like we're talking about St. John's later on, the cost of living in Halifax probably around 1,800 to 2,200, monthly budget, it can be less or more, depends on you. And there are several universities located in Halifax. For example, there is the Dalhousie University. There is also the St. Mary's University. Now let's talk about the economy of Halifax. So the economy of Halifax is mostly service sectors, and they also have health and also educational sector as well, and the tourism and fishing industry, because it's kind of close to the ocean. There, if you're someone that actually likes traveling, so this is a very popular place to actually visit and learn more about some of the fun places. There are some fun places you can go in Halifax. For example, there is a Citadel National Historic Site, there is a Maritime Museum of the Atlantic, and there's also the Halifax Public Garden. So definitely check this out whenever you have the chance to go to Halifax. Number 6 on the list, let's talk about Kingston in Ontario. We're back now from the Atlantic, now back to the mainland in Canada. So Kingston is a small city in Ontario, but it is a charming city. It is actually located in the shores of Lake Ontario, and they have a very rich history, and their architecture, man, it is beautiful. The cost of living quite affordable, between 1,700 and 2,100 for a lot of students and also newcomers. And there are several universities that are located in Kingston. For example, there is a Queen's University, there is a Royal Military College of Canada. In terms of the economy, is majority is based on the service sectors. For example, the healthcare and education, and they also have a good manufacturing and technology industries. Now the Kingston, there's a wide range of employment opportunities that are present here, because it's a lot of people actually go there for tourist visitation. And some of the fun places you can visit in Kingston includes the Kingsley City Hall, which is beautiful. There is also the Kingston Penitentiary. There is the Fort Henry National Historic Site. So whenever I had a chance to go to Kingston, definitely check this out. Very beautiful city. The 7th city, which is also affordable for newcomers and for students in Canada, is Saskatchewan. I actually have a friend who is currently doing his PhD at the University of Saskatchewan as at the time this video is made, so maybe he's going to be graduating very soon. Now Saskatchewan is a very small, but this city is vibrant. Okay, it is actually located in the heart of the prairies, and they have very friendly people, and they also have beautiful parks. The cost of living in Saskatchewan usually around 1,700 to 2,200 for a lot of students and newcomers, but Like I said, it can be more, it can be less, right? The city is actually home to a lot of universities and polytechnics. For example, the University of Saskatchewan is there. There's also the Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and the economy is mostly based on agriculture. There's a lot of mining, and they also have a lot of service sectors as well. And because people love to see this, it's also a popular place for tourists, for tourist destinations as well. If you are in Saskatchewan, one of the fun places you can visit includes the Mewasin Valley Trail. There's also the Saskatchewan Western Development Museum. There's also the Saskatchewan Forestry Farm Park, and so definitely check it out when you get a chance to go to Saskatchewan. So I mean, the tuition is not that expensive for students. So if you're a student, an international student, it's a great university and it's a great province. No. Number 8 on the list, let's talk about Victoria in British Columbia. So Victoria is actually the capital city of British Columbia. Even though we have Vancouver, very beautiful city, but Victoria is the capital city of British Columbia. They have a very stunning coastal scenery. Their climate is very mild, as compared to some of the, like Alberta. The temperature is really nice, and they also have Victorian architecture, which is amazing. The cost of living in Victoria is really around 2,500 to about 3,000. That's pretty much good for a lot of students and also for newcomers. And that's like, it can be less, it can be more, right? So let's talk about some of the universities that you can find in Victoria. For example, there is the prestigious Great University of Victoria. They also have the Camozon College, which is an amazing college. The economy is based, mostly on the service sectors. There is the healthcare, there is the education, there is a lot of tourism because they have a beautiful scenery, and there is a lot of technological industries as well. If you are in Victoria, I have a suggestion for you of some of the places that you can visit. For example, there is a Butchart Gardens, there is the Royal British Columbia Museum, then there is also the the Rock Castle. Definitely visit there, and if you visit any of these places, leave the comment in the comment section so that you can see what others are saying about some of the city. Now let's go to number 9, Fredericton in New Brunswick. Now back to the Atlantic province. So Fredericton is actually the capital city of New Brunswick, and they have a lot of beautiful parks. They have rich history, and they have very friendly people. The cost of living in Fredericton is really around 1,700 to about 2,300 or 200 for a lot of students and newcomers. And there are several universities in Fredericton. For example, there is the University of New Brunswick. There is also the St. Thomas University. In terms of what the economy is based on, there is a service sector, for example, health and education. They also have a lot of manufacturing and technology industry. So because of the tourists, it also offers some employment opportunities as well. Now, if you are in Fredericton, what are some of the fun places that you can actually visit, whether as a new student or as a permanent resident? Now, for example, there is the Beaverbrook Art Gallery that you can actually visit. There is a lighthouse on the Green. There is a King's Landing, historical sediment. So definitely check out some of these fine and beautiful places. Now, the number 10 on the list is St. John's in Newfoundland and Labrador. This is actually where I did my master's. I love this city. It is amazing, because it's also located in this Atlantic region. Sometimes I just feel the Atlantic Ocean cool breeze and everything. It is amazing. So St. John's is actually the capital city of Newfoundland and Labrador. Their coastal scenery is stunning, like I mentioned before, and they have a very rich cultural heritage, and the people there, they are very friendly. I can attest to that because all of the very friendly people. The cost of living usually around 1,500 to about 2,200 for a lot of people. There is also there are also several universities and colleges. For example, there is a Memorial University of Newfoundland. That was actually where I did my master's. There is also the College of North Atlantic, which also abbreviated as KONA, and the economy is based a lot on service sector. There is health, health, there is education, there is tourism, and there is also a lot of fishing industries as well. Now, in terms of the fun places that you can visit, I can actually say this because I've been to all of them. Number one, you can actually visit the Signal Hill National History Site, very beautiful. You can also visit the Johnson Jew Center and the famous George Street. If you go there at night, it is amazing. It is very beautiful, especially it's located in downtown St. John. So there you are. These are the top 10 most affordable and cheapest cities to live in, as Canada, in Canada, for students as well as newcomers, whether as a permanent resident, family or whatever, however you came to Canada. Now, each of these cities have their own unique experience, and they also have their own sets of pros and cons. So my recommendation would be to actually do a lot of your research and then compare the cost of living, the universities, the economy. Just consider compare all of the employment opportunities and also some of the fun places to live in before making a decision. So that's actually going to be for this video. If you really enjoyed this video, really click on the subscribe button. But before I talk about that, remember that the cost of living actually depend on a personal lifestyle and also spending habits. So it will be ideal for you to actually make a budget, a very friendly budget, right? And then actually just follow that budget accordingly. And then there is a lot of opportunities for newcomers, whether you're a student, you're a professional, you're a worker, you're a permanent resident. There's a lot of it welcomes a lot of diversity and multiculturalism. So that's gonna be it for this video. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and if you haven't liked this video, make sure you like this video and actually comment what is your best city. I want to see who is going to get the most like. Which city are you planning to immigrate to Canada, and what is your favorite city among all of the ones that I've mentioned in this video? So thank you so much for this video. I will see you in the next video.